With the end of July right around the corner, Bethesda has finally revealed what the monthly reward card will be for the month of July, and it is Sentinel Reclaimer. Now, this is a 3-cost intelligence creature, has a 2/3 body, it is a red guard, and it says summon, put a steel dagger and a steel sword into your hand. Now, if you're not familiar, a steel dagger is a 1-cost item. It gives +1/+0. Steel Sword is a 2-cost item that gives +3/+0. Now, this card is very intriguing to me because it has the potential to fit in a number of decks, but it's also intriguing because it's not the sort of thing that you want to be drawing and playing necessarily on curve every time. So I feel like this is the kind of card that, unless it's part of a specific combo, like a salvage deck, which is entirely reasonable if you're trying to build a salvage deck that maybe wins with Sparksmith or something in that regard, the extra steel dagger generation is nice. But beyond that, if we're just talking about traditional aggressive strategies, and that's where I think this fits best, this is the kind of card that I think will ultimately be a 1 of or a 2 of. But I really like it in that case. I really think that, for example, in my Time to Fight deck, right? Think a very aggressive deck where you're looking for a lot of burst damage, specifically burst damage from hand. This as a 1 or a 2 of is not half bad. You get 4 damage put into your hand, and that 4 damage will come at the cost of only 3 magicka. Now, traditionally in aggressive decks, the standard, if you will, is what I call 4 for 4. Sentinel Battle Mace, Dawnbreaker, Lightning Bolt. These are all cards that cost 4 magicka and end up dealing 4 damage. Now, Sentinel Reclaimer does require you to set this up by playing the creature, obviously, and investing 3 magicka. But what you get out of it is a 2/3 body and a 3 for 4 trade-off. That is 3 magicka for 4 damage. That is nothing to sneeze at. That is nothing to take lightly. That is a lot of potential burst damage. You do also get flexibility. You don't have to invest all 4 damage, if you will, onto a single creature. You can, in fact, choose to split it and do the dagger on one creature, the sword on another. Another nice thing about this is that the steel sword is a fantastic way to enable Dagoth triggers, for example. So all of the cards that trigger if you have a creature that has 5 or more attack power, steel swords are a great way to get there. In fact, that's one of the big reasons that I love Sentinel so much, is that Sentinel equips a steel sword to something, and it will take something like a Wardcrafter or a Daggerfall all the way up to where it's triggering Dagoth effects. And Sentinel Reclaimer, again, you've got more investment, more time to get there, but this will get the job done. Now, unlike Sentinel, Sentinel Reclaimer leaves a pretty sizable body behind, so that is rather nice. And again, overall, I think this is the kind of card that is fine as a 1 of or a 2 of. If you're looking for another similar comparison in terms of power level, consider this. There have been times when people have ran Plunder as a resource generator in aggressive decks. Now, I'm going to say people and not just Dust. Dust, if you're watching this, I love you. But there are some people who have included Plunder as a 1 of or a 2 of because, you know, at the time it was very resource efficient. You spend 2 magicka, you get 2 cards in return. Usually they represent some kind of burst damage, but I say usually because you might end up with Imperial Plate or something that does not increase your attack damage, and when you're playing an aggressive deck, that's a bit of a bummer. Now, for 1 more magicka, so if you go from the 2 cost of Plunder to the 3 cost of Sentinel Reclaimer, you get a 2/3 body and you get guaranteed attack damage. Now, you can't high roll in this regard. You're not going to get Ancestors Battle Axes off of Sentinel Reclaimer, but you're going to get enough to get the job done in my mind. So I'm excited to try this card out. Again, ultimately, I feel like this will be the kind of card that is a 1 or a 2 of in aggressive decks that want to make use of it. I think that an aggressive version of Battle Mage, so not the mid Battle Mage that's trying to run the Breton Conjurer Alfiq package, but something more akin to either Time to Fight or something more akin to, for example, what Wita brought to the Master Series. I think this fits right in. If you play an aggressive sorcerer list, I think this would potentially fit. And maybe even Assassin. I know that Assassin has kind of fallen out of favor, but aggressive tempo-based assassins are still entirely viable, and this might again fit there as a 1 or a 2 of. So I like the card. I'm excited to try it out, and as always, I want to know what you think. Do you think that it is not going to be good enough because it is too slow? Again, you do have to invest in the creature and then invest in the items. Do you think I am undervaluing it? Do you think this is truly a 3 of, and that the undersized body on curve is worth the potential benefit of the 2 items? Are you excited to try this in combo-based decks like Sparksmith and Salvage? Let me know. I love reading the comments. I'm excited to be back from QuakeCon. Next few days will likely be rocky as far as the old video creation goes, just as I get back into the swing of things and prioritize some projects, because I picked up some stuff that I need to work on while I was away. But overall, I'm excited to be back, excited to be making content again. Thanks for watching. Until next time, may you walk on warm sands.